Welcome back to the channel, and for today's video my goal is to engineer a nesting tank. A large tank that contains a medium tank that contains a small tank, all within one, and we can gradually shed our outer layers to become the tiny tank. So this idea comes from my Discord. Trajectory Gaming suggested the tankception, a tank instead of a bigger tank, which then got added on to by Jake, saying a tank and a tank and a tank and a tank. Now unfortunately we only have 3 sizes of tank tracks, so I'm gonna stick with 3 layers instead of 4 layers. So if I look at the 3 layers, we have the large, and then this is the medium. And in order for this to work, I'm pretty sure we're not going to be able to have either of the layers connected to each other than with detachable blocks. So I don't think I can layer them like this, which is going to make this more challenging because that means more space. There needs to be more space inside. So if I have them all at the base level with the same surface level down here, this is probably how they're going to have to sit. But then I also need there to be another layer on the other side. And I think that leaves, you know what? I think that's not too bad as far as dimensions go, like the wheelbases and stuff. We're pretty square, but like square is kind of good for tank steering. So I was questioning as I was thinking about doing this video, do I make all of the tanks have a rotating turret? Because that's going to make this harder. And I think I'm going to try it. Also, what are we using for weapons? I know that the small tank obviously uses the small tank cannon. Does it use the small tank cannon? Because the small tank kind of works pretty well as two blocks wide in the middle, in between the tracks. So like this could very well be great for a small tank. I might actually use this. So I think I start with just the small tank. Let's get this thing functional. Since the small tank is also going to be the last tank that it gets transformed into, that means that should hold the tank steering module as well. And what is our seat going to be? Probably just use this armored seat. Or should I use the go-kart seat? Let's look at the hitboxes. I think the armored seat and the go-kart seat have pretty much the same hitbox anyway. Yeah, they do. So armored seat's probably actually better. But man, I don't have as much room as I thought I was gonna have. Because now where do I put my aiming servos to aim this thing? I guess I don't need an aiming servo to aim. No, I do need aiming servo to aim up and down. At least if I want it to be, you know, mouse aiming. All right, well, we gotta work with what we got, I suppose. That means the gun has to be up here because the seat is just so big. Tank steering module. Oh no, we need engines too. Well, engine can go. Okay, tank steering module and engine can probably just go right here. You know what's interesting? We can probably actually shed engines too, but the small tank needs an engine at its base to function. But then we can't fit any more engines, so we'll have engines on the outer layers, and then those will get shed off, so that the power level will reduce along with the size of the tank. So that'll be interesting. All right, so we got that. Now it's just pretty much aim servo time, isn't it? I think this is gonna be what ruins it though. So we got aim servo. Look how tall this ends up being. I feel like first tank or small tank doesn't get aiming servo. Wait, I may have solved it. If I move the seat forward like this, then I can put this aiming servo back here, which means I can then put these aiming servos up here, which makes it not that tall. Oh, the gun still has to be attached, so we need an attachment point for the gun. All right, let me test out this tank by itself, because I think we are theoretically done. Oh, yeah, this works. Why are we so back heavy? Are we back heavy? Center of mass is like right there. I guess that's fine. This is 25 kilograms. This is 5 kilograms. Let's swap these. Put the engine more towards the center of mass. It didn't really help, and to be honest, it looked better the other way. All right, now we can aim up, left, right, up and down, all on aiming servo. We got a tiny tank. All right, so now we need to build out to the medium tank. So that means we need a block that I haven't used in a while, which is the detachable block. So then what happens is this detachable block will make the outside scrap. And this will be I'll assign this to number 2 because this will technically be our second detachment, because our first detachment will be from the large to the medium. We're working our way backwards layer wise. Okay, so this is going to be hard because of this turret situation. Let's get the tank tracks out, because our tank tracks essentially need to be right here. Do we keep the same turret? Like, this is starting to look a bit like a medium tank. Like, this doesn't look too bad. If we just start filling it in, the challenge is filling it in without attaching ourselves to the inner tank. But I think we use the same turret between medium and small, because it just seems to kind of fit scale wise. So how do we do this? All right, I kind of feel like these tracks move forward a little bit because it's gonna be like the back of our vehicle. All right, we probably want more engine power, so I'm gonna add an engine to the front here. Or nope, that's really all I can do. Are these attached? No, they're not attached. Okay, that's good. All right, now let's try to make it look like this is one cohesive tank by doing a little bit of this. This is promising. We got the front of our tank now, and the engines are attached. Oh yeah, we got our medium tank speed now. That's good. That's looking good. We're getting close. I'm trying to figure out how to fill in this area here without accidentally attaching back to the original tank with a solid point. And oh, maybe we just do the good old shield block method. Oh no, but then this will ruin my turret, won't it? Yeah, oh, that ruins my turret because it sticks up just a little bit. So I also have to keep this perfectly flat because my turret still needs to function. Man, how is the large tank gonna fit a turret on top of this turret is the question. But how do I attach this at all? This block maybe. If I do that, that I think works. I think it's only attached on the tank tracks. But now how do I get a block to attach back here? Are there attachment points up here? No, see, all the attachment points run out at that point. I got an idea. So this is a wedge here to avoid attaching with this, but I don't have to worry about that right here. So I can use the 1x4 block just like that. And now that gives me an attachment point underneath to then put a rod like this. Look at that. That works. Okay, we're getting onto something here. Or do I use wedge pieces instead? These wedge pieces here? Yeah, that works. All right. Looks decent so far. Our turret does get hung up a little bit, but I think that's okay. All right, let's do a test here of the transformation. See if we do detach everything. Well, that's a problem. I pressed the detach button and we did not detach. So something here is attached where I don't want it to be. How to find it? How do we find out? And the accidental, is it this? No, that's only attached to this. Oh no, this is a nightmare to try to figure out where I went wrong. Because see, this is only attached to, oh, here it is. It's this, because this is attached to here, which is, so the track is attached to this block, which 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 is attached to the other track. So that is the connection we need to eliminate. How do we eliminate that connection? I think that was just a change I made for aesthetics because it used to be like this and this. Ah, that's not what I wanted. This, the way it was, eliminates that attachment. It just looked a little less uniform back here, but now should work. And detach. Yay, tiny tank. Look at these tank tracks over here. Having a jolly time. All right, and then if we repair, do we get back to our other form? All right, now we're a bigger tank. Now, I feel like the turret needs to be bigger, but if the turret gets bigger and then it becomes tiny tank, then it's going to be too big for the tiny tank. That's the problem. But maybe not. I don't know. Let me see if I attach this. Is this gonna be too big for the turret? See, now the turret being that wide, that seems like a really wide turret. Well, no, let's build on it and see what it ends up looking like. Okay, I've managed to build this thing very meticulously. It's got some weird design elements, but it is all necessary just to keep everything detached from the tinier turret underneath. But at least now it looks like a more reasonable scale to the medium tank. And it's fully functional. And then when we transform, you can see we lose all of it. The only thing is I've added this back piece to the small tank turret because I needed an attachment point for the detachable blocks. All right, so now we have a medium tank. I kind of wish I had painted, you know what? If small tank is red, I just kind of wish I painted all the parts differently, you know? I guess it would be easier to change the small tank even from here. I just kind of want there to be more of a distinction when they transform, you know? All right, now small tank is its own completely separate color. Now I feel like, oh, now this becomes easy because now I can just select all of the red blocks. Yeah, now I can just color this tank. All right, so we'll have like green camo. Let's have like desert camo on the medium tank, maybe. There we go. The only inconsistency is the cannon. Maybe the cannon is just black. That actually might work between different versions. There we go. Can I cover up this back section here? Probably not, huh? Because how is that supposed to attach? There's no other attachment points back here. All right, I think this is good though. We've accomplished task 1, tank within a tank. Now we have to add tank. That's it. We just gotta add tank because we have tank within a tank. Now we need tank for to be within the tank within a tank. Okay, so let's bring out the big boys. Here they are. Now the issue right here is I can't fit a connector, a detachable block in between these two. So where do I have the attachment point? Could like maybe adapt it from here, but it might look weird. Maybe that's what I do. That might have to be what I do. I guess this can move back by a block. So I can build that. Yeah, this works. And then we should be able to have a panel back here that attaches only to those blocks. Oh yeah, this is fine. This works. This is gonna be the time-consuming part, though. This is gonna require a lot of attention to detail. All right, but this one deserves more engines, so I can actually fit some more, I believe, right back here without attaching to the other tank at all. And I gotta remember that whatever I build around this, either this turret has to be able to move inside my bigger tank, or I have to lock it until this turret becomes exposed. But this turret is so large that I feel like we need it. What if I use the original aiming servo from small tank number 1 as the aiming servo for the large tank turret as well, but we just have a different gun, a different barrel. Because then as this thing turns, it'll also turn the larger turret. That could be a thing. That might be the best way to make it look like it fits within the build. All right, let's see. Oh, something's not attached. What's not attached? What is not attached? What didn't... Did something get detached? What are these? They did get detached. Oh no, because of the things I just put in. I wish I noticed that before I built the whole structure off of it. Are those pieces really that important though? I don't know. I'm just gonna spawn it in. Let's see. All right, so we got our main tank, and then we press 1 to detach it. And so you can see the part, it hasn't fallen out on the left side. But this is what yeah, now it fell out. So this is what the tank would look like without that piece there. It does kind of hide a decent amount, doesn't it? You know what? I think I know what to do. We have room in here. We can put it back. And then we can use a universal pipe connector to reattach it. So now the back of our tank looks like that, which I think looks fine. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, so now how do we incorporate everything else? All right, well, let's enclose it first in the front. So we'll probably be using like this piece up here. Now see, this gets attached, so that's bad. So we need to use, instead of that piece, you can probably use the 4x4 wedge, turn it upside down. All right, so that's good. And now we're kind of stuck here. So now we have the issue of, if I want this turret to be able to rotate, ooh, it gets stopped there. It gets stuck. Like, how do I keep this turret free to rotate to also be my upper turret, but then conceal it at the same time without it looking weird? Probably not the easiest thing to do. I'm probably gonna just have to leave a lot of space on the sides. So if I do that, that blocks it. Dang. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do my initial plan. All right, well, this is turning out to be much harder than anticipated. I've been trying to make room. You can see some like wedge stuff I've done on the left side there to try to make room for the turret to go this way. But then even at the back here, and I've moved it back by a little bit, it collides. So we probably have to lock this turret. So I guess we could just use number 1 and it'll be off by default. So now nothing happens. And then when I press number 1, it activates because we no longer have the other, the shell, our big tank. So that's easy. But now the hard part becomes building a turret around this that still looks okay. But we do have a little bit more freedom of building, of how close we can get, because we no longer need to give it the freedom to rotate. All right, so I believe I've managed to fill in pretty much every available, there we go. Now, oh wait, no, there's a little bit more, I'm filling in every available opening around the hitbox of the other turret. So now I believe the entire hitbox is filled in. Let's just confirm that it's still working, the transformation. So now, even these are gonna be a problem here. These attachment blocks, but those are necessary. They are like actually really necessary. I need those to attach, to keep together the medium turret shape. So I need to build above that for this turret. And this turret needs to still rotate. So if this turret rotates, what I have to essentially do is have the rotating servo be here. Is this feasible? I think I have to have it here. I could do that. It could rotate, like if I create a shell going around, and it could still rotate from the top. Wait, where do I attach this to? This is gonna be kind of ridiculous. All right, that's the closest attachment point right there. But that means that whatever this rotates, it doesn't include this part. I feel like the back of our tank needs to go a little bit further. You know what? I could have this be a little bit more hitbox friendly by doing this. Yeah, this works. So now everything that I build for the rotating turret has to go off of this and not attach at all to my body here. The problem is it's just so high above the body. Unless I could extend the front out a little bit more and build the body up a little bit more. Ah, no. Wait. No, there's this. No, this does matter because, yeah, that can't be attached there. So I guess we move our up and down. Has to go here. All right, I've got the basics of the turret down. So you can see it has the ability to turn all the way around. Here, I can freeze it. So I had to separate it. I need that space in there because otherwise when I turn over here, it needs to be able to clear that wedge block. So that's a consideration. So now I need to somehow enclose this into a cohesive thing that doesn't have this big old gap. All right, I thought I had a pretty good turret design that was covering up the dead space in the middle pretty well, but it's attached somewhere and I don't know where. It's not working anymore. It's not turreting. So these are not attached. Is it like these things? Like, no, that's not, there's no attachment point there. This is a wedge that's facing the other way, so that's not attached. This is also a wedge, so that can't attach on the end there. Like, everything looks like it should work. Maybe there's just too much friction. Oh, no. It is the interior collisions. Because now I've added such a big... Yeah, it's this whole block here. Oh, no. It was so good looking, too. It can't turn because it's colliding with the inner piece. Wow, we were so close. Oh, no, this is it. Okay, hold on. It's not that. No, yeah, we messed up completely by attaching ourselves to the attachment point. This is it right here. That's the attachment point. This is the only part that I think is interfering. So if I delete these bottom ones, these bottom inverted corners, I bet it'll work now. Yeah. Okay, so that's the problem. I guess we could leave that open, or we can replace this. No, we can replace this so that it doesn't have that attachment point at all. So I'm converting it into this instead. So there's no longer an attachment point down here, but it still attaches it where I need it to be attached. So that should work. There it is. Functional turret. All right, what color should this one be? Should this be like more Arctic camo? We have desert, we have forest, and we have Arctic. I guess we can do this one. All right, so now the question becomes, did I succeed in making this vehicle completely separate from the inner vehicles? So when I press number 1, we should transform into the medium tank. Let's not do it in the grass so we can actually see ourselves. All right, 3, 2, 1, transform. Yes, now we are medium tank. Medium tank is considerably smaller than the large tank. All right, and then we press number 2. And now we are small tank. Small tank is too small. This does not really give tank vibes anymore. Look at this thing. Oh, the recoil. If I aim sideways, it's probably too much. Oh, no, it still handles it. It's all right. Whee! Too bad there's no reverse. We cannot reverse the nesting tanks. Well, I'm actually pretty happy with how the large one turned out. This is a turret design I have not done before using these quarter cones and stuff. The turret is unfortunately a little... It has some collision issues. Like right now it's not turning because it got stuck. There we go, now it turns. I said it shouldn't have the ability. I got rid of the ability for it to aim down at all. You can see I took away this angle down to 0, but it still, for some reason, has an issue with collisions sometimes. And I could have put some logic in to make it so I can't fire my medium small weapon, but all I did was just, I made it simpler just by my large tank is right click to fire, and then my smaller tanks, once I transform, is left click to fire, but I don't have left click deactivated. I'd have to do some logic to do that, and although it's not hard, it's also just not necessary. Now, so why would you need a tank that does this? Why would you want to destroy your heavy tank in order to make a smaller tank that you cannot reverse? Like an irreversible transformation, you'll never get the large tank back again? Good question. You see, the reason is well, if you get okay, here it is. Here's the reason. Number 1, you see, is okay, but number 2 is the more important one. If you get damaged and then you can't go anymore, then you could be like, haha, I don't need the large tank anymore. It's just holding me back. You can shed dead weight and go along with your medium tank. And then if these tracks get damaged, then you go down to this tank. Reason number 3 is if you get along to enemy territory and for some reason, is there actually an example, a real world example I can do here? Oh, well, I can't find a real world example, but let's say hypothetically you get to enemy territory and there's like a constriction. Like, you see how this is like a smaller constriction here, but it's obviously big enough for me to fit through. But what if I couldn't fit through? Oh, here we go. Here we go. But it's like, oh no, it's too small. Let's just say that that rock on the left side is like a wall. I can't fit through here, but I can't progress on the mission at all. So either stay here with my large, powerful tank, or look at that. And then let's say it gets even smaller and it's like, oh no, well, that's not small enough. This is already a pretty small tank, to be honest. But oh, wait, no, still I can fit through there too. But let's hypothetically, you know, in this hypothetical, let's say we can't fit through here with the medium tank, and then we could be like, oh, now I can fit anywhere. Oh, and I'm disabled. Don't worry, we can just use our turret to right ourselves. Actually, yeah, we can. We can use our turret to right ourselves. This thing's unflippable. It's also got terrible center of mass steering issues. It constantly spins out. Don't worry about that though. That's just, you don't have to worry about that until you get through phase 2 and phase 1 and phase 2. So there we go. A perfectly engineered, completely practical, immensely useful nesting tank. 3 different sizes: large, medium, and small. Small does not go straight at all. So what do you guys think? Mission accomplished? I'm actually pretty happy with it. All the limitations considered, I think it turned out pretty well. If you guys have any other crazy ideas, let me know down in the comments below, or join the Discord and put it in the video ideas channel. And if you enjoyed this, you'll probably enjoy some more you can find right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.